under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Commissioner Kilgore,
Present.
Commissioner Knight,
Present.
Commissioner Belcheck,
Present.
Commissioner Purdue,
Present.
Commissioner Sassi,
Present.
Mayor LeGrand.
Present.
Are we expecting Commissioner Robbins?
I have not heard from Commissioner Robbins. I don't know if anyone else has, so I hope he's on his way.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him, but he did say he'll be back tonight.
Okay,
in the meeting.
Great. And for the first time in my tenure as mayor, I'm going to remember to invite the interpreter up before I'm prompted to or after I try to do something else. So if the interpreter could please come up and introduce themselves. We provide interpretation services, Spanish to English and English to Spanish, but no other language live.
So my name is Victoria. I'm going to be interpreting Spanish to English, English to Spanish. So mi nombre es Victoria. Voy a estar interpretando inglés a español, español a inglés. Estamos a la orden.
Thank you. And with that, I would invite anyone who has public comment on agenda items to please come forward and speak with us. And Mr. Jones certainly knows the rules. So, Mr. Jones, you're first.
Commissioner Robbins is in the elevator.
Great. I hope it's not the broken one.
How y'all doing? I'm D. Jones, passionate entrepreneur and visionary. First off, I want to speak on the resolution of David appointing people to the Economic Development and Brownfield Authority. I'm not saying anything negative, but I hope in the future I can be on one of those boards to be able to give some good feedback to push the city forward. If you guys seen, I gave you guys a handout. A printout. I spoke to David, and you guys have an amendment also about the budget amendment, and you guys are also contracting with Edhart Construction for the Oxford Trail. What I'm speaking on is basically the handout that I gave you guys is a handout for from Ryan Kilpatrick. I actually got him to speak to the company that actually 3D print houses, and as you guys see, there's actually real progress being made to 3D print houses here in Kent County in our city. So what I'm asking for is if you guys ever have an amendment or a budget amendment, or you guys go back and redo some policies, that you guys be sure that the policies include being able to invest into 3D printed housing or housing. We have a housing crisis here, and I've been able to go to Mayor LeGrand's Mayor Mondays and speak to him about affordable housing and 3D printing housing. So you guys see that Ryan Kilpatrick has actually spoken to Lee, and we're looking to get that early 2026. So hopefully this is a future invite, and also an invite for the future for you guys to actually come to the groundbreaking of the 3D printed housing, because we have a housing crisis here. We need to be innovative to be able to attack the housing crisis. So I ask you guys, as you guys do these, as you guys legislate for our city, as we think about innovation, as you guys look at amendments and different things and looking at policies, I ask that you guys change some of those policies so we can invest in the 3D printed houses. You guys see it firsthand. I gave you guys a printout. I told you last time that I'm going to have an update, and I'm very passionate about this. I've done my due diligence, and this is real. This isn't fake. This is reality, and this is going to be a reality here in Kent County to attack the housing crisis. So as you guys are giving these huge 7-figure contracts to these construction companies for trails, for bikes, I ask that you guys look into do this for 3D printed housing and attacking the housing crisis. There is an amendment on there, so. And you guys do have it on for Edhart Construction to actually where you have the Oxford Trails for $9 million. So I'm asking that you guys, as you guys have the amendment too, that you guys also change your amendments and look into those to invest in the 3D housing. I know that it's cool. I know I'm a black person that's going to solve the housing crisis. And as I was actually footing it here, walking here from where I live at, I've seen people sleeping under the bridge. So beautiful things are coming to Kent County, and this is a future invite to come to the groundbreaking, because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be passionate and fierce and fierce and fierce until I get this housing crisis thing and we see 3D printed houses here. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Mark from Grand Rapids. Committee of the Whole number 5. Resolution approving ARPA Special Event Center, a special event from September 18th to October 4th. I want to talk about ARPA in general. since festival is no longer around, I want to suggest moving our prize from September to early or mid-June to make up for that space, make up for that lost time. School will be out during that time, then you have a lot more visitors, whether it be warmer, and you won't have to deal with football. I think you should think about this. The time is right to move this event. It'll mean a lot more people, means a lot more revenue. And in turn, Grand Rapids will be well for it. So think about it. And if you don't want to change the dates, that's fine, but I think this is something that it should happen. Because the weather and the football is going to has dampened our prize in itself. Warmer weather means warmer visitors, and more visitors means more money to the city of Grand Rapids. Thank you.
Hi, Aiden Wysocki. I live in the 2nd Ward. I just want to briefly make a comment to say thank you to Anita Hitchcock for her service as our city attorney. This is regarding the agenda item to appoint Philip Strom as the interim city attorney. It's just, I'd watched the city committee of the whole earlier on the live stream, and there were many kind words shared about Ms. Hitchcock and her service to the city of Grand Rapids. Working as an attorney, that you have to deal with words and choose your words very carefully and craft words, and words are like the swords of the 21st century. They carry a lot of weight, and they make change possible. So just please, I want to recognize Ms. Hitchcock for her hard work.
Seeing no other individuals, I will move us to approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Brings us to petitions and communications. Mr. Clerk.
Communication received from Reverend L. Haystack regarding the July 28th City Commission meeting.
Received and filed.
Communication received from Stormy Napier, licensed drone pilot and public safety technology specialist, providing input and requesting legal review of the proposed Grand Rapids drone parking project.
Received and filed.
Communication received from Stephen T. Staggs, Easttown Community Association, with a resolution. The Board of Directors of Easttown Community Association adopted expressing support for the Sylvan area neighbors.
Received and filed.
Communication received from Mary Barr expressing opposition to single hauler program.
Received and filed.
8 communications received expressing support for the Climate Action Adaptation Plan.
Received and filed.
And communication received from Del Buxton expressing opposition to the Climate Action Adaptation Plan.
Received and filed. This takes us to report of city officers.
Comptroller's warrant report for the period of July 22, 2025 through August 11, 2025 in the amount of $48,170,885.79, and the monthly travel report.
Received and filed.
Treasurer's report for period of July 31, 2025 through August 11, 2025.
Received and filed.
And city manager submitted an update from the assistant city manager on the next steps of the CAP implementation.
Received and filed. This brings us to our consent agenda, and these are items which passed unanimously in committee and were not pulled for further discussion. And with the permission of my colleagues, I would like to pull out of Section E, Item 4, and that's the resolution approving the appointment of the interim city attorney, which passed unanimously, and he's here, so don't sweat, Phil. But I do want to take a moment and, as a commission, acknowledge the retirement of Ms. Hitchcock. And so this was triggered by the ending of a long and faithful service to the city, which I know we all appreciate, and there were sentiments expressed at the meeting this morning, but if any of my colleagues want to reemphasize that, I will happily go last, but if anyone wants to say anything, I'm pulling it off consent so we can say goodbye to Ms. Hitchcock, our city attorney.
So,
Mrs. Sassi, Commissioner.
so you want
Yep, so we're going to do consent.
Oh, you're right. So you're right. We'll pass consent, but I want to pull that from consent. So if I could have a motion for the consent agenda with that item pulled?
So moved.
All in favor of passing the consent agenda with that item accepted? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. And that brings us to our item removed from consent. So Commissioner Sassi. I'm sorry, we need a motion.
Support.
Commissioner Sassi.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this morning was so full of that I appreciate you pulling this item so that we could have this for the larger body and those that are here watching the 7 p.m. versus the 10 a.m. meeting. I just want to share a couple of my comments. The one that was really highlighting Anita's work. I mean, it's been a long career with the city, but really recognizing this role of city attorney that she took on a department that really needed some reshaping and culture building and connection points. And so I think that is really your legacy, Anita, is leaving behind a team that will miss you, but is also ready to continue the work, even if you're not going to be there on a day-to-day basis. So we will miss you. There's been a lot of positives. There's been a lot of hard conversations. I said there's some meals. We had some cupcakes today. And I know you're, just committed to just ensuring the success and that, she has her purse out here. She's ready to go, but, but we're gonna talk about you for a little bit longer. And to Mr. Strom, to Phil, I think I can speak and say, I think just really excited for your leadership in this next chapter of the city of Grand Rapids. You've led a number of important issues for the city. I think, you're a neighbor in the 3rd Ward, which I also think is just a really positive thing. You've made an investment to be in this city, and, your colleagues speak very highly of you. So I'll look forward to working with you in that expanded capacity. So thank you both very much, and congratulations.
Anyone else want to make any comments? Commissioner Belcheck.
I just want to say that I have not had the opportunity to work with Ms. Hitchcock very long. As a new commissioner, however, she has been invaluable in steering the conversation, a little bit of encouragement behind the scenes, and a positive attitude that has just been really remarkable. I'm actually very sad not to have our time extend together longer, but I do know she has big dreams and will take action on them going forward, and I look forward to living vicariously through her updates. But I really want to say on behalf of all the people that may not know all the work that you do, certainly people that I know that I've talked to in the city, in the residents and everything, I'm going to be passing on how much work is done and how it's not just what you see here on these meetings. And so thank you for all your advice, your literal counsel, and all the things you do. I appreciate you. And to Phil, I am very much looking forward to how we can learn and grow together as we both step into these roles. So thank you so much for your leadership.
And I think it's fair to say that part of a tribute to Anita is that we're going to have a nice seamless transfer here because Phil, who we're appointing, so all of you know, has been acting as deputy city attorney for some time now. So to have the number 2 person able, ready, and willing to step up and take on this role as interim is really, really a testament to the department you've built. And so it's a blessing for us all to have that seamless transition, so now we can do the hard work of looking for our next generation of leadership in the attorney's office. So I will say that maybe of all of the people up here, I've known Anita the longest. I've been practicing law in this town for about 35 years, and I sort of feel like there wasn't ever a time when Anita wasn't part of that mix. I look back and it turns out I have been practicing longer than she's been working for the city. But we had cases together, decades ago. And it was always a pleasure to work with her then. And it's been just a joy and a privilege to be able to work with her for this last 8 or 9 months. And to see her in action and to, get a sense of what our standard should be for our next attorney, because I think the standard for our next attorney should be who our last attorney was. So couldn't be prouder of you and the work you've done. And on behalf of the city, just really, really want to thank you. And I said this morning, too, that public service is hard work, as everybody up here knows. And it's, you get stress moments. You're very much in the public eye in ways that you wouldn't be if Ms. Hitchcock had chosen to just be in the private sector. She wouldn't be a lightning rod for issues in ways that it's sometimes unavoidable. And her firm, her clear direction and her firm hand on the tiller for legal operations has been really, really made all of our lives better. So thank you for your work. So I guess technically now, because I pulled it off consent, we have to vote again. We can reconsider our decision on whether we want to vote for Mr. Strong as our new interim city attorney, but I'd ask for a vote on that motion. All in favor of, I'm sorry, Commissioner? Okay, all in favor of appointing Mr. Strong as our interim city attorney, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. That being the only item removed from consent, we now move to ordinances, which we're going to adopt. There are a number of them. The first is, City Clerk, if you could introduce it.
Ordinance rezoning the southerly 40.50 feet of 1362 Leonard Avenue Northwest, to the MCN LDR Traditional Neighborhood Low Density Residential Zone District.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Belcheck.
Okay, so this one and the next item will be related. On August 12, 2025, the City Commission established August 26 as the date to consider the request to rezone the southerly 40.5 feet of the address at 1362 Leonard Street Northwest from the traditional neighborhood, traditional business area zone district to the mid-20th century zone low-density residential zone district. The rezoning will allow a cemetery to make improvements located on this property, which will be incorporated into the adjacent Mount Calvary Cemetery property at 1364 Leonard Street Northwest, which is located in that mid-century neighborhood low-density zone. So this is owned by the Catholic Diocese of Grand Rapids from 1922 until 2015. And based on the dates of the headstone, this southerly 40.5 feet of the property located at the south chain link fence has actually functioned as part of the Mount Calvary Cemetery since at least 1928. So the encroachment of the improvements came into light only recently in association with a survey conducted as part of a property sale. And for those of us who drive by or visit this cemetery, this is a home that we're talking about sharing their space with the cemetery at that border.
Thank you. Any further discussion from colleagues? Seeing none, I'd call for, this is a roll call vote, so City Clerk?
Commissioner Sassi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes. And our next item is related, as Commissioner Belcheck pointed out, but City Clerk?
Ordinance rezoning the northeasterly 1,916 square feet of 1364 Leonard Street Northwest to the TNTBA Traditional Neighborhood Traditional Business Area Zone District.
I can have a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Belcheck.
Okay, so once again, on August 12th, 2025, the City Commission established today, August 26th, as the date to consider a request to rezone the northeasterly section of about 1,916 square feet at 1364 Leonard Street the home, to move it from the mid-century neighborhood, low-density residential into the traditional neighborhood, traditional business zone, so that it can accommodate the Mount Calvary Cemetery that is located next door. The driveway and a portion of a two-stall garage associated with this property has encroached 21 feet into the cemetery's property, and thus we are asking for this rezoning at this time.
Any discussion? Seeing none, City Clerk, call for a vote.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes. This brings us to our next ordinance. Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance amending Section 1 of the Budget Ordinance 2025-11 for fiscal year 2026, Amendment Number 1.
Can I have a motion?
Support.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. These items came before us this morning at our fiscal committee, so for brevity's sake, I'll just read the titles of each item. There's for Fiscal Services Department, there was a debt services payment for the soccer stadium and amphitheater bonds. Police Department, there was a generator replacement and miscellaneous expense. For Parks and Rec Department, there was an environmental justice grant exception, as well as an item for Roosevelt Park and Plaza Roosevelt grant. For 61st District Court, there was a drug sobriety court grant. For the Office of Oversight and Public Accountability, there's a community-based violence intervention and prevention grants. For the Police Department, there was a 2020 COPS hiring program grant that was accepted. And then lastly, for the Executive Office, the City Commission meeting streaming, indexing, and captioning item, which I'll make note on that one. We had a little demo from Mr. Canfield this morning. It was really, really great. So I encourage people to go check that one out.
Do you want to add any items for budget for elevator repairs? Sorry.
Yes, thank you.
So Commissioner Robbins was late because we have an elevator that's giving us trouble today.
Yes, it did let me up with my badge, so I wanted to make sure everyone could get here. So
He was here on time. He just wasn't
Yeah.
in the room on time.
Yes, that's correct. Thank
This is, any discussion on this item? Okay, seeing none, City Clerk?
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes. And can I have a motion to give this immediate effect?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And next, we have an ordinance, City
Yep.
Clerk?
Ordinance amendment to Article 5, Chapter 7, Title 1 of the Grand Rapids City Code pertaining to the police and fire retirement system in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
And can I have a motion?
Support.
Thank you. Commissioner Sassi.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is just following the final contract with the Grand Rapids Police Officers Association with the Officer and Sergeant Unit and the Command Unit. This ordinance is related to the pension escalator for these respective pensions, and it needs to be amended. The agreed-to terms effectively change the pension escalator to increase to 1.5% compounding benefit to be applied after 5 years of retirement for employees who retire on or after July 1st, 2025.
Thank you. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing none, City Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes, I can have a motion for immediate effect.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor of immediate effect, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next is another labor
Yep,
agreement.
next one is a salary ordinance for emergency communication supervisors.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Purdue.
Yeah, so this ordinance would implement the provisions of the labor agreement reached between the City of Grand Rapids and Teamsters Local 406 Emergency Communication Supervisors. This unit represents 5 employees. This ordinance will provide for the following wage increases for emergency supervisors: 5% increase effective July 1, 2025, followed by 4% July 1, 2026, followed by 3% July 1, 2027.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote, so City Clerk?
Commissioner Belcheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Kilgore?
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand?
Yes, can I have a motion for immediate effect?
Support.
All in favor of immediate effect, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. That brings us to our next ordinance.
It's a salary ordinance for employees represented by the Association of Public Administrators of Grand Rapids, the APA-GR.
And can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Knight.
Yes, Mayor, this is implementing the provisions of the labor agreement reached between the City of Grand Rapids and the Association of Public Administrators of Grand Rapids. It provides for the following wage increases, 5% for the first year, then 4% the second year, and 4% for the third year.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, City Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Commissioner Kilgore,
Yes.
Commissioner Asasi,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Purdue,
Yes.
Commissioner Knight,
Yes.
Commissioner Belcheck,
Yes.
Mayor LaGrand.
Yes. Can I have a motion for immediate effect?
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. This brings us to a package of city resolutions that, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. This brings us to a next set of resolutions which relate to collective bargaining and a noise ordinance variance and a public hearing. And I'd ask for a motion to consider, to suspend the rules to consider those resolutions.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Commissioner, City Clerk, if you could.
Yeah, so
introduce-
first resolution is a resolution approving collective bargaining agreement with emergency communication supervisors for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
Thank you. And can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Purdue?
Yes, the emergency communications supervisors have advised the city's bargaining team that their membership has ratified the contract covering the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. The resolution outlines the terms of the settlement of the agreement.
Thank you. And that refers back to an item that you just introduced for us. So if I could have a motion. Pardon me, we already have a motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of adopting, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, just for clarification, I have the language of the ordinance, the salary ordinance. I would ask the clerk, just for record, just to make sure.
It's
you
not a
have
roll call vote.
the
Sorry.
Resolution, the actual
Yes.
resolution. I don't have it in my packet. So make sure we don't have
Yeah,
to.
I have-
We've done this before, we had to re-vote on that.
Yes, I have the resolutions.
All right, let me-
Salary ordinance. I have the ordinances. I have the ordinances and the walk-on resolutions from closed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I clearly see the ordinances. I don't see the accompanying resolutions for those items. You have them, though?
Well, each of the commissioners that are introducing them have a copy of them.
You have it?
Okay.
Would you like me to get copies for everybody?
I'd just like to see a copy, but they
Yeah, I can pass it
need to
down.
vote. Just pass it down, please. Thanks.
Thank you. Were we about to vote? Or did we vote? I'm sorry. We voted on that item? Okay. Did we vote on it? On
Just-
Commissioner Purdue's item, on item,
Just ask for.
resolution number one?
Yes, just ask for it again, just to make sure we have it.
Okay. Well, we can vote twice. That's like measuring twice and cutting once. Just to make sure we did, all in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. That brings us to our next item.
The next one will be a resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Association of Public Administrators for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
Can I have a motion?
Support.
Commissioner Kilgore.
Thanks, Mayor. The Association of Public Administrators have advised the city's bargaining team that their membership has ratified the contract covering the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. The resolution outlines the economic terms of the settlement of the agreement.
Thank you.
Can you see a copy of that from Mark? I need that one from Commissioner Kilgore.
Any discussion this item? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. That brings us to, and I misspoke, actually. There are 5 of these that we,
Right. So we're going to So moving on is a resolution authorizing entry of participation agreements in partial settlement of the National Prescription Opiate Litigation and entry of state local government intrastate agreement concerning allocation of settlement proceeds.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. We've had a few of these items come before us previously as the city has entered into litigation against certain defendants in regards to the opiate epidemic. So this one in particular is a proposed national settlement with defendants Alvogen Inc., Amneal Pharmaceuticals, Apotec Incorporated, Hikma Pharmaceuticals, Indivior Incorporated, Mylan Pharmaceuticals, Sun Pharmaceuticals, and Zydis Pharmaceuticals. And the expected or estimated recovery amount would be $128,877.87.
And that is spread out over 15 years, if
Correct.
I recall?
Yep.
Thank you.
15 years.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none. Extra money for the city is always good. All those in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next, City Clerk.
Next one is AB2 LLC versus City of Grand Rapids City Commission resolution approving a settlement.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
And Commissioner Isasi.
Thank you, Mayor. On August 11th of 2022, this matter of AB2 LLC versus the City of Grand Rapids regarding an alleged breach of lease case was presented to us in our executive session. And upon recommendation of council, a settlement of this matter was recommended on terms that included provision by the city without a cost to plaintiff or its customers of the first item being parking validations for the months of August, September, and October, and a total aggregate amount of up to $3,000 each month. The second item was hooding of 4 parking meters located on each side of Ottawa Avenue Northwest. And this was closest to their entrance in the months of August, September, and October, with some exceptions. There was also hooding of those same parking meters for some times in December of this for parking meters in December, and a one-time rent reduction of $5,000 from plaintiff, from the plaintiff's October rent. So this is an alleged breach of lease and just a settlement in this case.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
And the final resolution is a resolution authorizing entry of participation agreements and partial settlement of the National Prescription Opiate Litigation, entry of state local government intrastate agreement concerning allocation of settlement proceeds for Purdue Pharma LP.
Have a motion?
So moved. Support.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Very similar to the last one I shared about. This one is in particular regarding Purdue Pharma as the defendant. So Purdue Pharma and the certain members of the Shackler family. The estimated amount of recovery for the city in this case would be $824,818.39. Again, over the course of 15 years. And I'll add as well that the national settlement restricts the use of these funds. In both cases, permissible uses relate to things pertaining to treatment, prevention, and abatement of the opioid epidemic.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor of this resolution, say aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries. This brings us to public comment on any item of concern for the public. So anyone wants to come up to the microphone, please do.
How you doing? I'm D. Jones, back like I never left. But how y'all doing? I'm excited, y'all, to speak about this 3D printing. I told you, David. I told you I was gonna be fierce. I told you I never fake who I am. I'm true to who I am, true to my character, and just true to this self. And I'm excited to be able to attack the housing crisis. I know that I'm going to do everything in my power. I actually got some visuals. The guy Lee sent me and Ryan some visuals, and they actually 3D printed some duplexes also. So that's going to be cool, and I'll actually send y'all and bring y'all a visual of that next time, the 3D printed visuals. I'm sure your thing that you speak on the next Mayor's Mondays isn't going to be affordable housing because I was the third one. I'll be on it, David. But, I'll be sure to bring y'all some visuals of the duplexes, or if y'all want me to send that to you, I'll be sure to send that to y'all. But I'm very excited to be able to attack the housing crisis. And city attorney, Thank you for your service. I've been coming here since 2018. I've been here since Phil been here and everybody here, before some of y'all got elected. But you've been here since I've been here. You always told me positive things. If you see me on TV, you told me that I made the city look good. And I appreciate all of the kind things that you said to me. And I just wanted to say some kind things to you, because I've seen people attack you. I've seen people say negative things about you. But you defend our city and the constituents. And, you know, I understand that it's a hard job, especially as a black woman, a woman of color, being able to deal with all of the city problems that Caucasian people, Asian people, black people, all people of different ethnicities cause. You were the face of that. And so I just want to tell you thank you for your service, and thank you for telling me that I'm a celebrity, that I'm famous, for being on GR Business Journal, for bringing esports here. Now I'm actually about to be on TV bringing in the Boss Place, the largest K through 12 esports finals in the state, and one of the largest in the United States, and have colleges and universities here. And I actually got the packet from Tech Week. So yeah, I seen that y'all had a nice little slide, and I like to look at info, but y'all had a slide on the city on the rise, and the number one thing was tech. And as y'all know, I'm the esports and gaming pioneer, and I know that tech is only going to get bigger, and gaming is actually $1 trillion industry. And I got a lot of things, and as I actually tried to do the summer camp, I asked y'all for $1,000 to invest into our energy drink, so we can actually have the kids be able to sell it and be able to stream and be able to have a product to sell. Well, we don't even charge them a penny that we found off the ground. It's literally a free opportunity, not a pyramid scheme, not a Ponzi scheme, but truly an equitable, equal opportunity. So if we ever partner in the future, and I ask y'all for some funding to actually invest, because I know where the future is going, and I've been on it and I've been speaking on it, and now y'all finna see it firsthand. I'm finna go home and get on the game and stream and talk about how I just said that we about to 3D printing this housing into the city until it comes to fruition. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amy Brock, and I vote in 4954A zip code, and I was born in Grand Rapids. I'm here today because there's a war on the poor, and too many are busy surviving and couldn't be here to speak today. And I'm here to beg you to be empathetic, to imagine the situation of another who's lost their livelihood, their home, their freedom of existence, and now their belongings. And their freedom of existence freely hangs in the balance in our country. So imagine it was you. Please look at people rather than through them. I'm here today on behalf of our unhoused residents and residents with mental health and substance issues. The same residents who can't afford present affordable housing in our city that has no rent control. They're unfairly punished by City Commission approved loitering and property ordinances that passed in 2022. They're the same residents who find social service programs that are full. They're the same ones where hot team intervention services have been cut that support them. They're the citizens where homeless camps are being dismantled right now with no plan of rehousing them. They're the ones who face full or unsafe shelter conditions like lice, bed bugs, and lack of sleep right now. And they're the humans who face an executive order to clean them up and place them in voluntary treatment or incarceration. Imagine that. They're the cities where law enforcement assists with this order will receive financial kickbacks for doing so, while our own Chief Winstrom has said that he will look into these kickbacks. This statement is terrifying and gives no sense of legal protection to our unhoused neighbors. And we fund the police. You do. So of course, yes, I'm here for our most vulnerable, for justice, and to publicly ask for a commitment from you that Grand Rapids should receive no kickbacks for participating in such an order. Our unhoused have been dismissed and damaged by city policy. They have suffered from a lack of services, a cycle of poverty, and a refusal to create and fully fund a long-term plan. 100 homes in 100 days, as well as an expansion of Matthews House drop-in, is a great start. But we must look at ideas like Lansing City Commission relocated a homeless camp, or Dallas building pod-type homes as options for people who are unhoused. I ask you to think in the realm of what is possible and never in the realm of cruelty. I hope you make a public stance on this order, as well as on past ordinances. If you cannot do it on behalf of them or on the potential of people like me, then again, imagine it was you. Please actually make Grand Rapids the cool city we say it is, for all people, not just for the privileged. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Austin McFarland. I vote in the 495 vote 8, but I work in the 3rd Ward at Link Up. I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind for a while. That would be like STEM education in the city of Grand Rapids. Last year, the city of Grand Rapids passed their master plan. And, in that master plan, they talked about bringing, higher skilled jobs, higher paying jobs, more technical jobs to the city of Grand Rapids. And, that's well and dandy, right? It was also about like attracting outside talent and everything like that. But something that has really been on my heart is making sure that we're preparing the students and, the residents of Grand Rapids for those jobs and for those higher skilled and higher paying jobs. I'm a graduate of Michigan Tech, and I've seen the positive influences that great STEM education can bring. I understand that this isn't a GRPS meeting, but I believe that there's things that the city can do to bolster initiatives like that around STEM education. Making sure that there are spaces allocated and funding allocated to support those programs that are making sure that they're helping to educate around STEM education and making sure that we're preparing students all over the city of Grand Rapids for those jobs. Grand Rapids Public Schools has a 17.3% proficiency rate when it comes to math, reading, and sciences, math and sciences, and that's abysmally low. So we really want to make sure, especially students of color, when it comes to STEM education as well, that's a very underserved community. So I would ask the city of Grand Rapids, to consider some more STEM education initiatives and work with GRPS and these other school boards in the city of Grand Rapids to help bolster some of that. So thank you very much.
You're at the microphone if you want to say your name.
Where is it?
You can put your hand down. You're at the podium here.
All right, thank you. Yes, my name is Sidney Deans. I wasn't born in this state, but I lived in here, might as well say all of my life. For the first 2 years of my life, I was not a resident of this city. But I have been speaking to this body, not y'all specifically, but, to the city council, the body here. I have been speaking concerning the water, our water problem with the river. And I find that, that now we have grass growing in the river. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign of improvement, at least for the northern end of Grand River. I've never been south since I've been blind. But what I'm speaking about is this. There is got to be a line drawn where the state, at least the federal government, puts a what you can, how much pollution you can let go, but it should be a zero tolerance there, because there is fish in the Grand River that is, might as well say, completely wiped out, just about. The big carp, the bass, the suckers, they're gone. Big bass is gone too, you might as well say, because you can't catch a big one no more. But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to see if I can get this city to build a plant that would take all the poisons out the air from the burning. I have a plan for this. I have a plan for our water treatment, and the guy at the water treatment plant, he spoke with me once. I feel that God led me to give him that that answer he was looking for. He was looking for how you take stink out of gas. And straight away it come in my mind, and I told him. But I think that my God, our God, God of all, wants us to put new burners in there to stop this landfill. This landfill has too many. You can call me a liar if you want to, but this landfill has too many bodies in it. Somebody's child. My cousin was cut up and put, and part of the body was put into that.
Sir, we try to limit these to 3 minutes, and you probably can't see the clock, but that's the end of your
3 minutes is gone?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Maybe I should have given you some warnings so
Yes,
you couldn't
because
seen it, but
I really wanted to say that I have these plans, and I'm supposed to give it to you. I'm supposed to give you these plans that will put a new burner in, and it will clean the air, and you wouldn't be burying the residue from these from the plant you got now. You're burying it in barrels. The one I'm talking about will eliminate that, burn that up also.
thanks for coming.
Thank you for hearing me.
Yep.
Come in this way. You got my arm? What's it take? Okay.
Mark back. We have now entered the authoritarian stage. The orange felon has lost his mind. It's not just him. His aide, Stephen Miller, who in my opinion is David Koresh, Ted Bundy, Son of Sam, and Charles Manson all rolled into one. Along with that dimwit Benny Johnson, who's lying about the crime statistics nationwide. The National Guard doesn't want to be in D.C. I'm telling you that right now. They don't want to be there. They were forced to be there out of spite for these individuals. And it's just, and he's gonna come and he's gonna try to do this same crap. He gonna pull in Chicago. Chicago don't want him. These big cities, they don't want National Guard there. It's basically an attack on cities with black leadership. That's just the bottom line. These individuals must stop. They have to stop. They have to be stopped. Because if not, it's going to continue to fester. And we're going to have hate, chaos, and separatism in this country. And for the last few seconds I have, I'd like to congratulate City Attorney Hitchcock on her retirement after 26 years of service for the city of Grand Rapids. Your professionalism will be unmatched. And I hope you and your family enjoy your retirement with aplomb and happiness. Thank you. Boycott Tesla.
Good evening. Oops. There we go. Good evening. My name is Lisa Griffin, and I am with the 3rd Ward. Hello, City Manager, Mr. Washington. He always comes down to see us at the Fellows Program. Appreciate you so much. So I'm with the 3rd Ward, and I'm with the Fellows Program, and I appreciate Link Up so much. One of the best decisions I ever made was to be a part of their organization. And so I'm coming here. I came last time when I came to speak. I was speaking a little bit about how my life had changed from drug addiction until being saved and being in recovery 2.5 years, and I'm a woman of God now. And I would just a big part of that is because, of course, God, but then because of the city of Grand Rapids. And so I always knew that this was a beautiful city, that the city had all these resources, that there were so many people that just came out of the woodwork. They always were there to help me, but I never wanted to receive the help because of the dependence on the addiction. But today I can see clearly, and now I'm taking advantage of all the resources. And I'm so grateful that I have a renewed mind, that I'm able to be a part of the resources instead of taking advantage of them. And so I go to Madison Square Church also, and I'm a part of the Bible study there called Kavod. And I'm a part of a group called Overcomers. I'm part of Link Up. And so all of these things, I'm very grateful to take advantage of them. And so during the block street there on Madison, there were some things that came up concerning the police and the gentlemen who encountered the police that were in the ward. And so I got a chance to speak to a couple of the police officers and let them know my concerns. And so it got to the point where I was very scared, period. And I don't do any crime or anything, but it just was to the point where there's a miscommunication and a misunderstanding with the citizens, the totality of citizens, and with police. So I just thought maybe I would give some suggestions to them, maybe even like a task force for a mentorship. One of the days that they're supposed to come to work, 5 or 6 of them get together and start mentoring. We can't do anything about a lot of them now, but we can do something about the future. And so I think a mentorship would be very good, and they can understand more of the community and the city if they come and they talk with young teenagers and these things and become more involved with them, and so that they may be able to see what they're going through, then they can be able to see what the police are going through also, and just get a better communication, period.
Thanks, ma'am. No, sorry, it's okay, but thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Hi, my name's Stephanie Hall. I live on Philadelphia Avenue in the 3rd Ward. Commissioner Robbins, thank you very much for your assistance with the elevator. I really appreciate it. I've not been to a commission meeting before, so I will stay within the 3 minutes. I am here as part of the group that was affected by the flood in 2024, June 13th, by the way, if you recall. Anyway, I'm really not sure what to say except please keep our group in your minds and be fair. That is all we ask, is for fairness. Like I said, I'm not sure what else to say. I'm not going to give you any sob stories about the damages. You've seen everything. And I'm not going to tell you about whatever may have happened since then, because I feel that it will fall on deaf ears, because we feel that all of our pleas and our requests for fairness from the city have fallen upon deaf ears. but I'm really hoping going forward from today that you will think long and hard about what is fair and what is right and what is morally right to be treating your citizens here in the city of Grand Rapids. And that's all I ask. And I'm not a public speaker, so I'm going to leave it at that and just thank you very much for your time.
That brings us to comments from the commission. So Commissioner Belcheck?
Thank you, everyone. I would like to just address a couple of things that I heard in public comment, and then perhaps others may chime in. But the housing situation is a very serious one that we understand and have understood in the city for a while. I do like some of the ideas. Some of the ideas I'm hearing are echoing ones I've thought of too, particularly when we're having our land bank discussions and having parcels of land that may not be buildable on. We could think of creative things, and some of them may be parks, but they could also use those for possible pod housing. And I heard that comment tonight, so that was interesting. But that is all yet for further discussion. And I did have the opportunity to tour the Next Step facilities that are that little tiny houses that are being built by Mel Trotter and Next Step to help move people from unhoused situations into homes. And then they're even talking about expanding and having a bigger unit that would be 800 square feet. And they're very adorable homes that are, I would move in. They're completely designed well and spacious with storage in the attic and everything. So I really commend our developers who are working on those sorts of things. And we have emergent developer programs. So anyone who wants to think about helping in the housing situation, we are looking for creative and more innovative people who want to participate in that. Regarding public safety, we actually had a very robust conversation today by our Public Safety Committee. I don't sit on that, but I did attend, and I do know that we have people here who do. And there was a lot of discussion regarding community policing and the idea that we are almost at the point where our police officers are back staffed enough soon that they are strategically planning to build and bring back the community policing program. So I'm excited about that because that's something I know my constituents talk about and something that I want to see. The car can be a barrier, as our Assistant Deputy Chief noted, and I think it's really important that if you're not engaged in these conversations, to watch those other videos of those meetings. I like the mentoring idea, so thank you for bringing that up. And I won't talk on the other thing because I think we actually have someone who will talk on that later. But thank you for everyone. And if there's anything you need, my next constituent hours are coming up in September. So reach out to me. I'll get you the information. And I continue to look forward to the conversation. We'll add that there are opportunities to publicly engage. The Roosevelt Park naming is still happening, and we have our poster contest for the 175th anniversary, and we also have, different things like the trash hauler, which we get emails about every day, and I'm reading all of them, and your handwritten letters too. So just know that there are lots of ways to get involved. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Perdue.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all those who came and spoke and those who are watching online. My comment today really is a broader comment. We're in August. We're getting ready to go into the fall time, and a lot has happened in the last 8 months, 9 months throughout our country, certainly here in the state of Michigan and Grand Rapids. And I think it's time that, particularly after the federal bill was passed recently, that I would love for this body to be briefed on what that bill means for our state and what changes in state funding means for our city. Right now, we see National Guard taking over Washington, D.C. President Trump has talked about how he wants to take that to other cities. We need to talk about what will we do if the federal administration wants our police force to report to them as opposed to us, right? We have thousands of people who are at risk of losing health care insurance. How is our community going to work together to make sure that we keep people well, and on and on and on. There's so many implications for our work here and every single thing that happens in our city, and we haven't said anything formal, been briefed formally, or talked about how do we prepare for what could happen that might harm our city and its residents. We had a public safety meeting today, and there were some really great updates on things that we've been working on here locally, but we have to step back and see the bigger picture and see how we fit into the larger system and how that other parts of the system are going to impact us for good or for bad, and prepare accordingly. So I'm asking publicly that we take the time to have some formal briefings here and have some discussions as a body so that we know what to expect and we know how we might be able to respond in different scenarios. So I like to share that publicly, and I ask that other folks kind of support me in that ask. And I've had a lot of conversations with you all, and I know that you all think that it's important that we pay attention and we know what's happening. And we do have a legislative committee, but I think the gravity of a lot of the changes that are happening in our country really validate the need to have it here and with the full body. So with that, we are kind of getting a lot done, and there is a lot of movement. There's some wins, and there's still lots of opportunities to make sure our city really works for all. Tomorrow, I'm doing my regular Let's Talk Third Ward briefing. It's online. It's 30 minutes. It starts at 7. So if you haven't already planned to join, please RSVP my social, my email, or send me a note, and I'll make sure you get the information. And tomorrow, I'm having a special guest, inviting members of the political leadership program to talk about their services. They did a really great job, or I went through the program, and they were a huge help in preparing me to run for office with the technical skills, but also the belief that I could do it. Just some girl from south side of Grand Rapids. And so they share how campaigns work, but even if you don't want to run for office yourself, they'll explain how these skills matter and why, as we look to midterms and other elections, how you can be part of making sure we get really, really great people elected, even if you don't want to run yourself. So tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Wednesday, August 27th, is my Let's Talk Third Ward briefing, and look forward to having more larger conversations here about what some of the federal and even state movements mean for us. Thank you.
Commissioner Sassi?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for attending this evening. It was a good meeting. I'll give my last, sad that it is the last meeting, Anita. But you're here for another week, so we'll expect to see you every single day. No sick days, no. But thank you again. And I know, I think your team, I just felt that love and energy, that they were happy for you, but also sad. So just wanted to say that again. This weekend, I had the opportunity to go to one of the activations. We talked about some of the activations in our city, but the Return to the River, just further down at 555 Monroe and 6th Street Park. There was a lot of different things going on, from just art installations to small businesses. In my day job, a couple of the businesses we work for were also there by chance. And I just connected with people that were from all different parts of this community and also outside of Grand Rapids. So I think for a city, it's also somewhere you can take your family and young people, and it's a free event and lots of good music and entertainment. So I hope that people got to be able to connect with that. I wanted to also, I know Amy, you had brought up the issue around homelessness, and then Commissioner, you were just talking about kind of what's happened at the state and federal level. I think on the state level, there's a lot of things to really, I don't think they know what's happening, and we've got a mayor who was a past legislator and who has a lot of good connection points as well, but I think that will probably be a little bit of a waiting game. On the plus side, on the state, we did hear that the Michigan Strategic Fund did invest $4 million in a 171 unit apartment in the 2nd Ward. This was a project that was an employer who was recognizing that the people that were working for them needed housing, and how could they fit into what is called, and there's a lot of terminology, but workforce housing. Those that are working for them, how they're able to afford to live where they work. And so they were working with Pinnacle Construction, and so that was nice to see that investment that came out of the Michigan Community Revitalization Program. MSHA put in some dollars, as well as some of our tax dollars as well. So there was a lot of community engagement that went along with that. The Creston Neighborhood Association was very actively involved as well. Connection points to, our medical mile, as well as into the downtown area. So I was really happy to see that, and that the state is still making some of those investments, even if we might not know what that looks like from a whole budgetary standpoint. But going back to what you brought up, Amy, I think, we did have those ordinances, and I mentioned before that Mr. Strom was a part of that work when we did that in 2022, 23, now I can't remember. But we were very mindful to look at the constitutionality of sort of what was being asked for us initially was all full out, no sit or lie in the city. And I think what we came to was sort of is a compromise. There was a desire to recognize some of the impacts that individuals are feeling, as well as the realities of where people live and how they engage in the city. And so for me, when I think about, kind of how we would respond to that is, I'd go back to the legislative agenda and where we added that amendment of really pushing back, I think pushing back is not necessarily a legal term, but rejecting, fighting against anything that would be considered unconstitutional. And I think that would be a good example of one of those things. So I do agree, I think, to understand, because it's changing all the time. But I feel really confident, like when you brought that up, I thought, okay, we talked about this specifically, this is how we would respond in accordance. And so thank you for bringing that up, because I think right now there's a lot of different things that are happening about the state and federal level, and it is, it is confusing. Like, I don't know. I know Taylor Swift got engaged today, but that's about it, right? Because everybody's been blowing up my feet about that, and I don't know a Taylor Swift song. But we need to be focused on, these other issues as well. Lastly, I'll just say, today, Commissioner Knight and I had the opportunity to go meet with some business owners and other individuals in the Monroe North area, talking about, sort of what does that community and neighborhood look like. There's been $100 million investment by Corewell Health, but also really recognizing how do we continue to support small businesses. We know small businesses have been through COVID. They are dealing with tariffs. They're dealing with staffing challenges. And so just appreciate some of the feedback that we heard from business owners, appreciate the feedback that we've, had from staff, like working with Mobile GR on different parking issues, working with our engineering department to respond to different things, planning. We added some individuals to be able to help support some of the inspections that we wanted to get on a better cadence. It's almost like what we had when we had the FOIA backlog, kind of have a little bit of backlog. How do we work toward that? So I think, it was a reminder of we can have these really big projects. We don't want to forget like the small business that are existing. And as we gear up for things like Art Prize and Tech Week, how do we continue to support them as they kind of wind down from a summer season into the fall. So thank you all for coming out tonight. And again, see you soon, Anita.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Just two quick things. One, I wanted to call people's attention. We had a really good briefing this morning at our fiscal committee about the city comptroller's internal audit plan. We had our deputy comptroller, Ms. Kirkland, there to share about, and internal audit team member, to talk about their plan to assess various risks within the city. So if that's of interest, I highly encourage people to go back and watch that. There was some really good content. And then I too wanted to add my thanks to Ms. Hitchcock. There's probably never been a more dynamic time to be involved in municipal government. But just over the past 2.5 years have very much appreciated your level-headedness, your care for the city, your compassion for the community first and foremost. It'll be greatly missed. So we're lucky to have Mr. Strom as an interim. Looking forward to working with him as well. But I joked earlier, I'll see you around at Standell Meyer, both being on the west side. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. Commissioner Knight?
Just want to echo those sentiments. I remember when Ms. Hitchcock got this position, I was not working here, and I was so proud to see someone that looked like me in that space. It gave me hope for the young women and people that I dealt with every day to see somebody leading in a position like that when you don't see that often. So a lot of times we don't know some of the silent things that go on behind the doors and how people are actually helped. I mean, they come in here and yell and scream about stuff, but they don't realize some of the stuff that she actually does off the books, off the record, behind closed doors, without any accolades, without any praise. She just does it. And so that's what makes a hero. And so I'm grateful for all that you've done, all you continue, I'm gonna see you, so. Yeah, you're not getting fired. But again, as I said earlier, it's important for us to give our flowers and accolades to people while they're yet here, because we could miss those opportunities. So making sure that we continually share that out, and grateful to have some of the conversations that we had, especially the one that we went about the Michigan talent grant that they are talking about, some work that can be done on the north side of the city. It's good to see how things are developing across our city, and yes, there's lots and lots and lots more work to be done, but we know whenever things like this pop up and opportunities to begin to grow and expand and do different projects, it's change, and change is painful. We want to see it, but there's a process to get there, and so it always kind of gives a rub. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to look at our processes and procedures and see how we're doing things and how we're supporting small businesses, how we're supporting development, how we're being creative in those spaces, and really beginning to look at how we can continue to help our city grow and thrive and stay on top of the leader chart for the right things and for the right people. And I think this is a really great time, even though we are 220 days in. Just want to make sure that y'all remember that. So stay vigilant and patient and hopeful, and find your place of peace.
Thank you.
Cover.
Thank you. Yeah, Commissioner Knight, we were on the same brainwave. This is the most history-making commission ever, from the first Black woman to represent the second ward, first woman to represent the first ward, and first Black female city attorney. I think it is. It's remarkable. And I think when people talk about history, it's not just for a really good news article. It's about the stories and the lived experiences that we bring. And so thank you for bringing your rich lived experience to this role and your heart to this role. And I'm hopeful that we can, in our big search that we have to fill the full-time role of yours, we can find someone with those types of attributes. And to Mr. Schramm, I worked with Mr. Schramm on the Housing Appeals Board before I was elected, and professional, kind, and helpful. So I'm so happy to see you in the interim role. I want to speak to the Third Ward residents who have reached out to me regarding the water main. It's a challenging issue, and I have been listening. If you all can go back to our first meeting in January and see me talk about this, and encouraging both the folks who are being represented, that are neighbors, to connect with and continue to talk with the city to come to find some sort of remedy. And so I'm going to do the same thing today of please, we've done our part, and from what I've heard is the ball's in the court of the folks who are being represented. So I'm hoping, and I'll come and chat with you. I see that. I will come and say hello after so we can share more. But it's not going on deaf ears. I think it's something that this whole commission deeply cares about, and we want to see remedied. Also, I had a great Third Ward listening tour stop at Last Mile Cafe this past weekend. August is Black Business Month. It was wonderful to support a Black and female-owned business, but folks talked about that. Right? So they talked about the water main break and some of these challenges that we're seeing within our ward that I'm really working hard to address with my colleagues. So I'm still continuously thinking about it. And also, lastly, I'll say we are not perfect on this commission, but looking at the state, the House finally proposed a budget, so the state should have something coming down the line soon. But looking at the dysfunction in Lansing makes us look really good. So I'm thankful to work with you all every day, and hopeful to continue to go against the challenges as well. It's not all fun stuff. So I'm right there with you all and hoping to remedy that water main break situation. Thanks.
City Clerk.
Another good, fruitful, wonderful day. Thanks for everybody that participated and had time to share in celebrating the city attorney after COW today, and just had time to reflect and think about that. Anita, I do appreciate the frank conversations that we've had and struggle through things, and being able to have a very open open conversation, open dialogues on some very tough topics and how we're going to move forward. I really appreciate it. Personally, I'm jealous because you're going to have time to smoke meat and do some grilling. So I want to see how, I want to see what you experiment with and just enjoy that time. And well done, faithful servant. You've done amazing. And just on an election note, today is the anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment of universal suffrage. So we think back that only 105 years of everybody being able to participate in the electoral process in this country. And so the things that have happened, this table has definitely looked probably different in 1920 than it does now. This room looks different, and so just things to think about and think about the gravity of where we're at, where we're going, and just looking forward to it. And I'm glad to have this time with you. So thank you.
I'm going to let you go last, City Attorney. So, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, for your work today. I want to, as always, thank the staff for their work throughout the week, but particularly in preparation for this meeting tonight, and had some very good updates. I won't go into detail on what has already been mentioned, but I do want to thank the staff for all the work regarding Art Prize and Tech Week, and not just those that helped in the presentation today, but the employees that are not here who will be picking up the trash when those hundreds of thousands of people come, those who will be inspecting the various venues and who have participated in the permitting process and who will be patrolling and responding in emergency conditions. So I want to thank you for making sure our city stays livable as well as viable during those big festivals that will have the attention not only across the state but across the country and across the world. So thank you for that. Secondly, regarding the federal conversations, these are conversations we have been having ongoing, both here at the Committee of the Whole to whatever degree we could, because as you know, it constantly evolves. But yes, within committees, legislative and public safety. And even today, for just a matter of public record for the entire commission, regarding the executive orders related to the unhoused, we have already began looking forward, thinking about some of the implications around funding or lack of funding, and have been working with our partner at Housing Kent. I think we have a contract with that. Ms. Behrens indicated that today that we want to do some big policy work thinking about what those implications are, and that work is still being done. And once we have a good handle on it, then at the appropriate time we will be bringing that forward. And also, legislative committee, we constantly talk about, as we get federal and state updates, I will continue to say that as a principle of local government, not only as Commissioner Asasi mentioned earlier, we need to make sure that we maintain constitutionality here within the city and state and federal government, but also local control. And that pertains to even matters of policing under local authority. So I intend, as the Public Safety Director, to continue to direct the resources that are under me, whether in regards to any of the local ordinances that are passed here at the city and any of the other matters of law, and we prioritize the things that we want to enforce. We have addressed that before, particularly when it comes to matter of immigration and other matters of policing, that we want to focus on those areas that are important to us. And so, without overreacting to what is a lot of uncertainty, I think I would want the community to know that we are focused on doing what is in the best interest of our community here in Grand Rapids and using our resources and only asking for help when needed. And the only time I recall asking for help was about 4 or 5 years ago when we were unable to police our community on our own. So I think we'll continue to monitor that with the help of our consultants and helping us look at those matters. But at the appropriate time, we certainly will be happy to take some of those conversations out of committee and or either give a report from the committee to the City Commission. Lastly, I do want to again commend my colleague, City Attorney Hitchcock, for her work, her professionalism that she's displayed, as you've heard earlier, on some very high profile issues. The work of public administration is never easy, but particularly when you are in a position where you have the opinion of the public, which may be differ all the time for matters of law. And you took an oath, both here on this dais as well as part of your credentialing as an attorney, to uphold the law. And it's not always easy doing that in a public manner. And you heard some of the tension that's created, where people may not always understand it or appreciate it, and it may not always be popular, but you've done your work as a city attorney to uphold the law, and I appreciate that. And you've done it both internally to us as well as on this dais. And even when we didn't want to hear your opinion, you were not shy in giving it. So thank you for calling balls and strikes like they should be. And I do wish you well in your retirement. She's not only a person of integrity, but a very true person of faith. And what many people may not know about our city attorney, she's an excellent writer, not just of ordinances and opinions, but I'm looking forward to the book coming out someday. Oh, books with the S. And I'll punctuate my comments with, the wish that your latter days would be better than your former days.
Well, I'm really going to let you go last. Okay. So I'm going to, we don't do this every day, but we don't have our city attorney retire every day. So I'm going to let, kind of like judges, those of us who are lawyers know you're always waiting for the judge, and the judge always gets to talk last, and that's the best place to be. So I want you to have the last word tonight. I do want to, obviously, amen to everything that's been said, and I already said it earlier in the meeting, but amen. I do want to talk a little bit about where we are at this moment as in our city, and I think that some things are clear and some things are less clear. Sometimes when I'm advising clients, or was advising clients back when I was practicing law accurately, I'd say, well, the situation we're in is kind of like being in the fog. I can tell you what's 50 yards down the road, but I can't tell you what's 100 yards down the road till we get 50 yards further down the road. And we are in a climate right now where there are actors in our political space who actually seem, as far as I can see, to be relishing creating chaos, uncertainty, undoing norms, unsettling practices. And that makes for a very challenging environment across the country. And it's going to make a very challenging environment for us. One of my favorite authors is J.R.R. Tolkien. And there's a point at which someone says, a character, Frodo, says, I wish I didn't live now. I wish I didn't live in these troubled times. And the response is, no one wants to live in troubled times. The only question is, how do we deal with the time we're given? So as a city, we are at this time and we're in this moment, and we have to figure out what we're going to do about it. But that's the hard truth. The good news is, and I've said this before and I'll keep saying it, cities are strong. Cities are good, solid entities that have been around for thousands of years, and cities are going to be okay. And this city, particularly, I am confident is going to be okay, because we're not just any city. We're a city that I know this commission and our leadership and our staff is a values-driven organization. So we don't sit around and just decide to do stuff. We start with what our principles are and what our values are, and we try to apply those. And in a moment of stress and strain, we can tap back into values that we have articulated for years, and we will continue to articulate, and we will point to as we go forward in what's a very uncertain environment. But we can pull back on and rely on the values, and those values are, to put it very, very simply, being a city where we try to love each other, we try to support each other, we try to work out what it means to be empathetic for our fellow citizens. And that is a value that can survive stress. That's a value that can survive hardship. And there may be hardship. And that hardship isn't going to be inflicted by anybody up here if we have anything to do about it. But we are going to have to respond to an environment that has hardship written on the wall. I think that cities are going to have to think about how to be more self-reliant than they've been in the past. I think that's real. And I think that we're going to have to, as a group, think about what that means and how to do that well. But I think we've got the ingredients for it. I was reminded today in an earlier presentation that LinkedIn, who may not be the arbiter of everything in the universe, but they're a real organization and they're a real national organization, characterized us as the #1 city in America on the rise. And that means that if any city can be prepared to move forward and hold to our values and pull together and work for the common good, this is the city that's going to do it. And I am absolutely confident of that. And we will only betray those values if we give into fear, if we give into selfish action, if we give into individualism, if we give into thinking about ourselves and not thinking about our neighbors. So I know that we can be great. I know we are great. I know we can be greater. And I know that whatever is happening at the national level, this is where I want to be right now. And there's never been a time when it's been more important for all of us, our staff, our commission, every single citizen, to figure out how to make Grand Rapids a city that can touch back on those values and dig deep and commit to them, whatever storms are on the horizon and whatever is going on at other levels of government and in other places. We are here. This is our city. We need to own it, and we need to own caring for each other. So that's where I think we are, and we've got some work to do. It's absolutely true. And so, Commissioner Perdue, you're not wrong. These are things we're going to have to keep talking about. But we are also operating in fog, and that's a tough place to be. So we don't want to react to every shadow we see in the fog until we know what the shadow represents. So we're going to have to be wise, prudent, and nimble all at the same time. And that's a tough list. That's a tough mix. But thank you all, and thanks to everyone in the city for bearing that burden with us together. So, City Attorney?
I got it together. So, word that kept coming to mind to me was bittersweet. It's bittersweet. There's life is a journey, and you go through that journey, and you have different seasons. And so I'm at that season where I have to realize, wow, I've worked total 50 years. And so now I get to step into that new season that's called senior status. And I just thought about that the other day, and I said, really? Ooh, how'd I get there? But I'm beginning to see it as, this might be cool because you go places and your hair's gotten gray and people start to look at you that way. And I think it comes with perks, right? They accommodate you and they're nice to you. I said, okay, this might not be a bad season. But it has been an amazing journey, one that I'm grateful that I got opportunity to serve and be here. And I was thinking this morning when I got to work, I got in my car and I said, you know what, it's hard at the beginning and hard at the end, because the beginning you step in and it's this big job. There's just a lot to this job. And you're right, behind closed doors, people don't know all of what goes on. And so I kept hoping when I started with the city that a year would go by so I would know more. And so, yeah, it was tough stepping into this role because it was a lot. It was a lot the whole time. But then now, as I get to the end, it's tough to leave, too. And so I found that I thought I would be doing cartwheels once I pulled that trigger and saying, I'm out of here. But it wasn't that way. I think I actually grieve it instead of doing the cartwheels. But nonetheless, I'm thankful for, because none of you were here when I was appointed. And so I'm thankful, let me say, Sunita Lanier, who made that motion one day, and then that commission that gave me the opportunity, that put their trust in me to say, and I won't name all of them, but put their trust in me to do this. And I thank you all, because all of you were a part of my reappointment, because as years go by and people change, but we still have to be reappointed. And so thank you all for putting that trust in me to reappoint me to this position. So it's been awesome to serve the city as an organization, but also the city as a community, the relationships that I've built, and the memories, whether good, bad, or in between, like the song Sunshine and Rain, Joy and Pain, has been all of that, but all of it goes into having great memories. And so I also say I'm a phone call away. I'm not that far away. I'll still be in this area, and I'll still be available for a little while longer to help out during the transition period. And I'm thankful for Philip, that he's going to be stepping into the interim and keeping our team, some consistency. We have a great team. We want to keep it that way. And so, gosh, I want to do a drop the mic, though. I've always had a vision of drop the mic, but nonetheless, I'll drop the mic there and just say thank you. I appreciate it working with all of you, because the city is big. The number of people that work here that I've worked with, huge. So I thank you all, but I think also all of the people in all the various departments that I've worked with. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Drop the mic.
And with that, we're adjourned.